Hello everyone. So in this session, we are going to discuss deployment model of the cloud. So cloud computing will provide different deployment model. One is a private cloud, second one is a public cloud, third one is a hybrid cloud. So there are different type of cloud model available. One is a public cloud and private cloud and hybrid cloud. So let's understand different cloud model. First one is a public cloud. So public cloud, guys, are the cloud resources owned and operated by third party cloud service provider deliver over the internet. It means this cloud can be accessed by anyone. So anyone can provision your resources on the cloud. Anyone can access via the internet, and you need to pay only for based on your uses. What resources you are using, you need to pay only for those resources. So public cloud is available publicly to everyone. Now we have private cloud. Sometimes what happen, guys, suppose you are running any application, your application is a very secure application and you are not interested to expose your application over the internet. No one can publicly access. So in that case, you can use private cloud. Private cloud basically designed for any specific organization. It means that cloud only accessible by single organization, not exposed to the publicly. It means that single organization has complete control on that cloud. So whatever resources they have launching or accessing, only that particular organization can access. Private cloud actually some more costly also, and private cloud basically designed for security for sensitive application. So private cloud we need to use as per your business needs. Suppose you are running a very sensitive application, in that case you can use private cloud, otherwise you can use public cloud. Now hybrid cloud, just like guys, is a combination of two cloud like public cloud and private cloud. Let's understand what is a hybrid cloud. Let's take one example. Suppose guys, we are running one amazon.com website. So amazon.com website needs to be accessed by everyone. Anyone can needs to be accessible. It means amazon.com you can launch, you can deploy where, guys, in your public cloud. So in public cloud, yes, no, because we are deploy our amazon.com, because amazon.com website needs to be accessible by anyone over the internet. But whatever database we are using, yes, no, company, whatever database you are using, database is not accessible over the internet. No one is allowed to access. So it means database can be used for internal purpose. So database we can organize in which case in private cloud instead of deploying in public cloud. So here you can check here our some part of our application we are deploying in public cloud, some part of the application we are deploying in private cloud. So our website, our application we have deployed, yes, no, in public cloud, and whatever database has attached to this application that we have deployed in your private cloud. Now anyone can make a request, yes, no, to access your amazon.com, but no one can make a request to access your database, because database you have deployed in your private cloud. So in this infrastructure, we can say we are using public and private cloud. Such type cloud we can call as a hybrid cloud. So as per your business needs, you can select either public, private, or we can say hybrid cloud. Let's now understand 5 characteristics of the cloud computing. So first characteristics, on-demand self-service. On-demand self-service means user can provision resources and use without any human interaction from the service provider any at a time. Broad network access. It means resource available over the network and can be accessed by device client platform. It means you can access from anywhere. Multi-tenancy resource pooling. Multi-tenancy resource pooling means multiple customer can share the same infrastructure and application with security and privacy. Multiple customer are served service from the same physical resources. Rapid elasticity and scalability. It means automatic, yes, no, and quickly you can acquire and dispose the resources when you need it. It means you can add on extra resources, you can remove the resources whenever you need it. So that's why we can say rapid elasticity and scalability. It means quickly and easily scale based on demand. Major service, it means uses is measured. It means you need to pay only for that whatever resources you are using and how long you're using, you need to pay only for that. You have not to pay for all the resources. Now let's understand types of cloud computing. So there are different types of cloud computing. One is the infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. It means cloud computing you can use as per your requirement, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, or software as a service. Let's understand first of all infrastructure as a service. Before understanding the type of the all the services like infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, let's first we understand when you are not using cloud computing. Suppose if you're running your business on your premises, so these are infrastructure you need to manage. All these components you need to manage. You need to manage your application also that you are running, and you need to manage your data also. You require runtime that you need to manage. You need to manage all the middleware service that is required. An operating system you need to, your virtualization you need to take care. Servers, whatever servers required, you need to take care. Whatever storage required, you need to take care, and networking also you need to take care. So all these components you need to take care if you are managing your application on your premises, if you are managing the infrastructure on your premises. Now we can use guys infrastructure if you are using cloud computing. In case in cloud computing, you can use infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Okay, if you are using infrastructure as a service in cloud computing, so it means you are using infrastructure service. It means whatever application, data, runtime, middleware, and operating system is required. Yes, no, you need to manage. But apart from whatever infrastructure required, like server, storage, networking, yes, no, that will be managed by the cloud service provider. So now you can understand in this way with very real life example. Suppose guys you want to interested to eat a pizza and you want to make pizza yourself. So to make a pizza, suppose whatever bread, yes, no, whatever toppings, whatever is required you have, but you don't have kitchen to bake a pizza. So it means now whatever material is required to make a pizza, you have everything, you are managing everything, but you don't have kitchen. Kitchen act as the infrastructure to bake a pizza. So kitchen act as a guys, what act as a kitchen act as an infrastructure to bake a pizza. So kitchen act as a like infrastructure to bake a pizza. So now what have we can take kitchen as a rent and we can bake our pizza and then we can eat the pizza. So that is called infrastructure as a service. It means infrastructure as a service. Whatever infrastructure you require, you are taking as a rent. Apart from yes, no, whatever application, data, middleware, operating system required, you are managing. And only whatever infrastructure required, like virtualization, server, storage, networking, you are taking as a rent. Now, if you are using soft platform as a service, in case of platform as a service, it means application and data. Suppose you're running Java application. To run Java application, you require Java runtime environment. You're running Python program, you require Python runtime environment. So if you are using platform as a service, it means whatever runtime, whatever middleware, whatever operating system, yes, no, and infrastructure, whatever required will be managed by the cloud service provider. You need to focus only your application and data. Apart from yes, no, whatever platform, whatever infrastructure required to run your application will be managed by the cloud service provider. Now, third type is a software as a service. In case of software as a service, just like guys understand. Suppose you want to eat a pizza. If you want to eat a pizza, suppose if you want to eat a pizza, so suppose you don't have a material to make a pizza and you don't have a kitchen also. So one thing, yes, no, without taking care, yes, no, you can make an order online, yes, no. In that case, everything will taken care by third party, yes, no. So just you need to make an order to eat a pizza. And now how to make a pizza, kitchen, everything, whatever infrastructure required, everything will taken care by the someone. That is called as a software as a service. This means you are using software as a service. As a user, just you are using, just like in simple way. Suppose you are running any business, you require email server. So one you can set up your email server on your premises. In that case, you need to manage email server everything. Otherwise, you can use yes no any email server like Outlook or Gmail, and in that case, you not need to manage that server. Microsoft will managing and just you are using for your business needs. So that is called software as a service. In case of software as a service, if you are using cloud computing software as a service, in that case, application, data, runtime environment, middleware, operating system, virtualization, server, storage, networking, everything will be managed by the cloud service provider. As a user, you can just concentrate to use your application, run your business. No need to take care anything. So cloud service, yes, no, will provide it, yes, different model like infrastructure as a service you want to use platform as a service, or you want to use like software as a service. So we have infrastructure service. So just like you can check here, AWS will offer one service like EC2. I will discuss later on in detail. Yes, no. Platform as service like Elastic Bean Stack is a service which is offered by AWS. You can use that service as a platform as a service. Software as a service, you can use several services is available which offered by the AWS that you can use software as a service. Okay, now we talk about AWS global infrastructure. That is a very important point. So AWS actually has set up, yes, no, our infrastructure globally. So you can check here in AWS global infrastructure, you need to understand what is the AWS region, what is the AWS availability zone, what is the data center, what is the edge location. So you can check here, AWS has set up our infrastructure over the world. Yes, no, globally, they have managed our infrastructure globally. So what is a region, guys? So region we can say is nothing is a geographical location where AWS has set up our infrastructure. So just like you can check here, we have Singapore is the one is the region. Yes, no, one is the region. Just like India is a country. So India is the one of the region where AWS has set up our data center. So let's here check here. Singapore is the one of the region, and within a Singapore, AWS has set up three data center. It means in within a Singapore location, they have set up our data center and different location and three location, and all the data centers are connected to each other. It means same applications can be run in within a region in multiple data centers. If any one of the data centers suppose get lost due to any disaster, still your application is accessible because your same application is available in different data center also. So region is nothing we can say. Region is any geographical location and where AWS yes no set up our infrastructure. So you can read here AWS has region all around the world. AWS has region all around the world. And now region name is like US East 1, US East 3. So region is nothing we can say. Region is a cluster of data center. You can check this diagram also. Region is nothing. Region is a cluster of data center. What means a cluster? Cluster means group of data center. Yes, no? So group of data center. So region is nothing we can say group of data center. So most AWS service are region scope based service. And now if you talk about availability zone, what is the availability zone? Availability zone is nothing guys within a one region, within a one region, AWS manage availability zone in multiple places. So availability zone is just like we can say a separate location within a AWS region. Availability zone is nothing. You can check here, guys. Diagram. You can check diagram. This is just like Singapore region. Within a Singapore, there are three different locations. So it's a separate location within an AWS region that is designed to provide high availability for the region. So each availability zone has, guys, each availability zone has its own power, cooling, and networking. So each availability zone has its own power cooling. So within a region, yes, no, we can, AWS can manage multiple availability zone for high availability. So availability zone is nothing. We can say availability zone, each region, yes, no, availability zone is nothing. Availability zone is a separate location within an AWS region that is designed to provide high availability for the region. And each availability zone has its own power cooling and networking. Every region, guys, in each region has many availability zones. Usually, in one region we have three zones. Minimum we AWS manage two zones and maximum can manage six availability zones. So AWS actually in each region has manage the multiple availability zone, but usually AWS manage three availability zone in one region. Minimum it can manage two, and maximum it can manage up to six. So each availability zone is nothing is one or more discrete data center with redundant power networking and connectivity. So they are separate from each other so that they are isolated from disaster also. So each availability zone are separate from each other so that they are isolated from disaster. But they are connected with high bandwidth, ultra low latency networking. So you can check it. Just like Sydney is one of the region, within a Sydney region, we have three availability zone, and all the data center are connected with high bandwidth, ultra low latency networking. And these availability zones are separate, yes, no, with each other. So if any one of the data center suppose has lost due to any disaster, still your application is available. Your application, your data has not lost. That's why is advantage of the cloud computing. So you can check here, AWS will offer, yes, no, several global services also. So we will discuss later on in region based. So I hope it's clear what is the region and what is the availability zone. So AWS actually manage our global infrastructure. AWS manage our infrastructure globally, and now each geographical location is called as our region. And within a region, yes, no, we have AWS manage multiple data center in a separate location that is called as a availability zone. So you can check your availability zone. We can call in the short form AZ, availability zone, and naming convention can be in this way: AP and Southeast 2A, AP Southeast 2B. Just like you can check here, we have region Sydney. In Sydney region, we have AP Southeast 2, AP South 2B, AP Southeast 2C. So I hope it's clear what is the AWS and what is the global infrastructure. Thank you.